Hi, my name is Lara and welcome to my channel, Inner Goddess Guidance. This channel is created for women and divine feminines and anybody who is on a path of self-discovery, self-healing, and working towards self-mastery. I imagine the majority of the people who might find themselves drawn to these videos consider themselves divine feminines on the twin flame path. I myself consider myself a divine feminine on that path. And I created this channel to assist people on that journey based upon my own skills from my life as a teacher and a personal coach, and also from my own experience on this journey. It's part of my mission, and my desire is to help assist you in getting in touch with your highest potential and your inner guidance system, using a variety of tools, exercises, and techniques, primarily through journaling. So if you have not watched the first video, you might find that video helpful. You might also find the video helpful about journals in general. I think that journaling is a particularly effective tool for many reasons that I won't go into right now, but check out those videos if you haven't already done so. I'd like to thank the people who are currently subscribers to my channel and say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who has liked the videos and commented on them. It's always a blessing to see that, and I genuinely have a great deal of gratitude for that, so thank you. Today I want to talk about one of the more difficult parts of this journey, and that's moments when we feel lost, isolated, scared, confused. Basically that we've gotten off the path, or we are in the darkness, something has happened, and we are just feeling overwhelmed. And the tips that I will be giving you, the techniques that I will be giving you, might assist you. There are lots of people to listen to, lots of people who have opinions and advice. Some of them have been on the journey for a long time and have other sets of skills. And what I want to say is listen to what are the things that you can take with you. I think that there is no right way. I think that there are so many of us and we're all very different. So even if we're all headed in the same direction, sort of like we're all climbing the same mountain, trying to reach that same summit, we have different tools in our backpacks. We started out at different places, and so our paths are uniquely our own. I think that we have a lot to offer each other. So I love the community of divine feminines coming together and really supporting and sharing ideas and tools and techniques. And I have learned so much by listening to other people, from consulting the tarot readers and some of the personal coaches that are available. And yeah, so I just think that this is your journey. So take the time to really get in touch with what's right for you, because just because something worked for somebody else doesn't mean that it will work for you. You might also have some wonderful tips and advice that you can offer, and if you do, particularly related to this topic, please put that information in the comments, because I think it will really help people. So these are some of the things that I came up with when I was considering what to do when we get lost on the journey. And just so you know, part of my process is to go into meditation. This particular video took a while to create, in part because I really was doing a lot of work with asking for guidance from spirit. So Yeah, that's just what I want to say. Okay, so when you feel lost on this journey, we all have times on this journey when no matter how hard we work, no matter how much we know, no matter how hard we try, we have times where we feel lost. Things happen in life like storms, and they come and impact us, or maybe we just get really tired. It's hard to keep enduring, and it's okay to be in those moments. So first thing I want to say is that if you are in a position currently where you're feeling hopeless, isolated, confused, maybe crazy, questioning your sanity, disoriented, and even desperate, that it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. I look at it this way. In the last two videos, I talked about how our highest self, the inner divine feminine, is sort of our light, our north star, if you will, that constant that's always there. That our getting in touch with our innermost values sort of creates a compass, and that our vision is the direction that we want to go. And then when we're aligned to that, we find our path. I think sometimes our path is well lit. It's clear. I think that sometimes, for whatever reason, it's nighttime on our path and we can't see where we're going. We may get afraid then. Maybe the clouds come and obscure the stars, and there's not even the stars to guide us, or our inner North Star. We lose sort of touch with that, or we question that it's even there because we can't see it anymore. We feel like maybe it's gone. And what I want to say is no matter who you are in the journey, you're going to experience those moments. But there are some things that we can do when we're experiencing those times that will help us. And the first thing that I want to say is that when you're experiencing that, I was thinking about how it's sort of like when I was a little girl before cell phones. And I remember the advice of if you get lost, if you get separated from your family, stay where you are. Don't try to find them, just stay. Like if you were in a carnival or a fair or something like that, and you were in a crowded place and you got separated, to not move from that place. And part of the reason not to move from that place is that your family could come back to find you. They can retrace their steps. But if you start going off to search for them, you don't know if you're walking away from them or not, right? And it's the same way, the same advice they give hikers. If you're on the path, you get lost from the path, instead of trying to find your way out, have a seat. Try to make yourself comfortable where you're at, because you could not be that far from the path. And if you stay near the path, then the search and rescue team can find you more easily. If you think, oh, I'll just go in this direction because I think that's the right direction, even though you don't know, then you might be going away from the path. So on this journey, when you lose touch with that higher self that's guiding you, you feel disconnected from her. And your compass, you can't see your compass, it's not helping you. It's sort of like your inner guidance system, the GPS inside of you, is not functioning. And so the best thing, or I think one of the most helpful things to do, is just stop, get very still, and sit. And I think sometimes that comes out in the tarot readings, like take a break. Okay. So one of the things to keep in mind is that even though you may not see the stars, the clouds have obscured them, that they are still there. They're constant. And to remember as well in that moment that light always comes back again. The day always dawns. And so you may not see it now, it may not feel like it's going to come, but if you can just sit in that and remind yourself that it does come again, it will be comforting. So, in thinking about comfort, you might, during times when you're not feeling desperate, really tune in to ask yourself, what are the things that bring you comfort? Even in that moment, to sort of still yourself. And I'd suggest doing some breathing meditation. One of my favorites is to breathe in and think of a word or a value and breathe out the opposite. So if I'm feeling fear, for example, or panic, desperation, I will focus on the opposite and I will take a deep breath. I'll close my eyes, take a deep breath in. And as I'm doing that, I will think inside myself, I'm breathing in hope. I'm breathing out fear. I'm breathing in faith. I'm breathing out desperation. I'm breathing in connection. I'm breathing out isolation. Whatever, and you can do the same ones over and over again. If it's faith and fear, that's a big one for me. I'm breathing in faith. I'm breathing out fear. And I always breathe it in through my nose, and I just sort of imagine myself filling up with the feeling of faith. And then as I exhale out fear. So if you were to close your eyes and imagine yourself on that path, it's dark, and you just sit down on that path. And in a comfortable position, you might be scared, but as you're sitting on the path and you breathe in faith and you breathe out fear, you'll get more and more comfortable in that position of stillness. I also think it's very important to try to turn off the voices that are not helping you. And sometimes I literally tell them that they are not helping me and they need to be quiet now. So I might say, fear, voice of fear, little abandoned girl, you are not helping me right now. Or judgmental person who tells me, because I have the judgment that says, you think that you're so smart. You think you have it all figured out. Well, look where you are now. How'd you get here, smarty pants? You know? And that voice is not helpful in that moment. It makes it worse. It's almost like having the inner critic come in and, feed the fear, right? Feed the insecurity of you don't know where you are and it's bleak and you're not equipped to do this and look what a loser you are. That's not helpful. So I literally say, you need to stop talking right now. You're not helping me. Go away. Another thing that I suggest is that as you sit in just the feeling and trying not to judge yourself for being there, that you do some visualization. Now there's beautiful guided meditations on YouTube, and I have used plenty of them. I happen to really enjoy the voice of a man named Jason Stephenson. I'm not sure how you say his name, but his voice is just so beautiful. And he has guided meditations ranging from 10 minutes to over an hour, for meeting your spirit guides, for all kinds of things like this. And I have found in moments where I'm feeling despair, feeling lost, if I can find the time to just sit, and instead of perseverating and going into my worry and my critic berating me, allow myself to listen to his guidance and his voice and go into a meditation, that it's very, very beautiful. I also think that we can guide ourselves in meditation. And so I'd like to suggest a way to do that today that I have found helpful. So, what I've done is imagine myself on that path. It's dark. I can't see the stars and I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to sit down instead of panicking. And I'm going to wait for a helper to arrive. This would be the same way if you, as a little kid, were told that whole thing of stay where you are. We used to be able to be told that we could trust people. Now we don't tell kids that, right? But back in the day, and even today, I think most people are helpful. But if you imagine that you're just sitting on the path and you're going to wait for help to arrive. Now, who can come to you for your assistance, for your help in that moment? Well, there's two ideas. One is to imagine that the clouds sort of clear enough for you to get just a glimpse of this North Star, and it's dim, but it's there. And as you focus on the North Star, it begins to grow in its vibrance. And as it does so, it gets bigger and bigger and starts to come toward you, sort of like Tinkerbell did. And as it comes towards you on the path and you're focused on it, what manifests in front of you is your inner divine feminine. She is everything that is good and strong in you. She has all the knowledge that you have ever known, as well as all the knowledge that you have yet to learn. She is your mother, your guide, your wise woman, your inner priestess, the high priestess energy. She is everything. She's your inner goddess. And she comes to you to assist you. She's there first to comfort you in a very non-judgmental way. And you might imagine that she wraps her loving arms around you. She sits down next to you. She is beautiful and radiant, and she is benevolent. She doesn't judge you. She just unconditionally loves you. And she knows absolutely that the day is going to come and that your path will be clear again. She knows that if you need to change course, that you're going to figure it out because she has belief in you. She is you. So let's say that I'm experiencing something like the child that was the abandoned child in me, that believes I will always be alone and never be chosen. That this child is now has surfaced, and that I am in that sort of dark night of the soul time. I've lost my path. I'm in that energy of that lost child. I allow her to come to my lost child, and I allow my lost child and my current self to converse with her, to ask her questions, to ask for guidance. And I allow her to express herself, to express the loving, kind words that I need to hear in that moment. So, I'm thinking of times when I felt not chosen. I felt abandoned. And I was feeling less than maybe who I know I can be. And that was some real pain that was triggered in some really big ways and launched me into some dark nights. But those moments are the moments of healing. So if you allow her to come to you, what you're going to do in sitting in that moment and having a conversation with her and allowing the conversation to unfold is you are allowing your inner healer to come out and the healing to happen. So, for example, I might say to her, I'm so scared. I don't think anybody will ever love me. And then I sit with that and I allow her to answer me. Do you know what she doesn't do? She never says, yeah, you're right, you're a loser. She just doesn't. She says, darling, you are so precious to me. You are so beautiful. I wish you could see yourself the way I see you now. You are loved by so many people. Remember that you are loved. Know that you are worthy of love. She has so many beautiful things to say to me, and your inner goddess has those beautiful words of wisdom and love and acceptance for you too when you're feeling that way. And when I allow my abandoned child to cry, she's there to hold her. And she says, I will not leave you. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. If my abandoned child says, nobody loves me, she might say, now, darling, I want you to think about all the people who love you. Your mother loves you. Your son loves you. Your friends love you. So, and it might be specific people that she brings up. And what you're doing when you're having that conversation is you're allowing the gratitude to come in. You're also allowing you're allowing the fear to come out, but also to have a conversation that enables it to be healed or to see the reality of the situation. Okay? I remember when I went through a particularly dark night of the soul. It was actually during my awakening. It was a tower moment. I woke up the next morning and I heard very clearly, this is not your fault. And I just sat there listening to that. This is not your fault. And it was such a beautiful moment of healing for me, because in that moment I recognized that if the incident that had precipitated the tower moment was not my fault, and I had been so used to in my life taking responsibility for all kinds of things that were not my fault, and I couldn't fix everything. And I thought that I had to. I really did. I thought it was my responsibility to figure out how to fix things for other people and for myself. And hearing that message, this is not your fault. In that moment, it was like the light. So I'd been in the darkness, but the light was flipped on. And suddenly I recognized that if that hadn't been my fault, that all this stuff that I believed as a child was my fault. Well, it wasn't my fault either. And I felt this huge veil lift, and the light was illuminated, and it was so incredibly beautiful and empowering. And I went from one extreme to the other. Suddenly, I was beautifully flooded with an awareness and a love and a healing that was incredibly powerful for me. So I suggest that you, when you're in a moment of darkness and you're triggered, to find stillness, go within yourself in a non-judgmental way. And one of the resources you have is to imagine this light getting bigger, coming to you, manifesting in front of you as your highest and best self. And that this divine aspect of yourself is there to provide you comfort, and guidance, and that you can have a conversation with yourself that will enable healing. Okay? Another idea, and something else that I have done, is to imagine myself in that darkness. I'm alone. I'm feeling alone, desperate, isolated, maybe panicked. On that path, I sit down, close my eyes. I breathe in that peace. I breathe it out. I breathe in. I breathe out. And then I call upon my spirit helpers. Sometimes I imagine that they all emerge and surround me in that moment. They're all there for my highest and best good, providing their comfort and support. Sometimes I call on one particular person. There are people in my life who have passed on, grandparents, my father, a friend, some friends, and also sometimes I ask people who've been my icons and my heroes, who have also passed on and are in the spirit world, and I imagine them as a part of my spirit team. I've just sort of asked them, hey, will you please be on my spirit team? And of course they always say yes. They're always willing to be on my spirit team. So sometimes I'll ask one of them, can you be with me right now and help me? I need help. Of course, lots of people call on the angels and the archangels, right? So calling on Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael to give you strength or to help you through healing. And I think it's completely, again, possible that you allow yourself to have a conversation and allow questions to come, or expressions from yourself, your fear self, the part of you that is feeling lost or disconnected, desperate, to have a conversation with this spirit guide and allow the answers to come, because they will come. So the things that are important is that you want to not succumb to your desperation or your panic. You don't want to react in ways that are going to get you farther away from your path. An example of that, which again, I know this from firsthand experience, that in moments sometimes I think, well, if I start drinking, if I have, 3 glasses of wine, or 4, a bottle, I will stop feeling this pain. I will just go to sleep. Or whatever is your avoidance mechanism. The reason why those avoidance mechanisms don't work is that they're not long term. They're only temporary. And you can push the issue out of your head or whatever, but what ends up happening, I have found, is that I end up farther off the path, more confused, feeling worse than if I would have just sat down in that sort of spot or space and allowed myself to feel what I was feeling. So consider that as well. So I think that's pretty much what I had to tell you today. I don't see anything else in my notes right here. If something else comes up, I'll let you know. I really wanted to address this with you today. Well, actually, I do know one more thing. I think another avoidance technique is to get lost in information. So, and I think I was particularly prone to this, which is I think to myself as a scholar, well, there must be an answer out there. There must be some kind of answer that's going to bring the light in right now. I want to feel better right now. I don't want to sit in this discomfort a minute longer. So what I'll do is I'll immerse myself in information to try to feel better right now. And what happens is that instead of really confronting where I'm at and how I got there, what led me to get off the path and healing whatever issue that is, I'm just grabbing onto somebody else's path or somebody else's tool and going the direction they tell me to go. So, for example, I might try to find a manifestation video. If I concentrate on this hard enough for the next hour, it'll all be gone. It'll all go away. The light will come and I'll be done. But it never fixes the reason I got there in the first place. And what really fixes that is for me to take the time. This is a journey of mindfulness. This is a journey of slowing down enough to really look at things carefully. Because it's in doing that process that we learn and heal and grow. And that's not to say that all the other information isn't worthy and good and helpful, because here's the thing, it's your choice. You can go and do and be however you want to do. I don't have any judgments on that. I have found, however, that the person who knows best about my course is me. And that when I'm out of alignment, when I'm in that dark night, when I'm feeling that way, it is not helpful for me to listen to other people. It is helpful for me to get very, very quiet and have a conversation with myself. Okay? So there you go. That's my advice that's the talk for today. So I'd like to call in, I'd like to do the invocation. And for those of you who haven't been following me in the past, this is your first video, I like to create a sacred space together with the intention of working toward our healing and self-mastery. And so I have an invocation that I'm going to say in order to do that. Dear Spirit of the universe, of love and light, please be with us in this time and place as we focus our collective intention on gaining wisdom and guidance for our journey toward healing and self-mastery. We ask for open hearts and minds to receive the messages that will serve our highest and best good in the service of love in all forms, with deep gratitude. Thank you. So, a Goddess Oracle card for the day. I have to bring this back. There it is. Goddess Oracle card of the day comes from this deck, the Goddess Oracle deck by Amy Sophia Marashinsky and illustrated by Rana Janta. Okay, Spirit, can you please give us one goddess energy that's working with us today? Some guidance through a goddess. Beautiful goddess energy with a message for our day. Shakti. I know that will get, there it goes. Shakti energy. Energy, the energy that flows through our chakras. It's beautiful. Okay. Sometimes when we're on, when we get off the path, we get in our fear mode, we feel lost. Our energy quiets, and there's nothing wrong with that. Allowing that and getting back in touch with where your energy is, allowing times of dormancy even to go within, to just sit and find the stillness is really good. So Shakti, sorry. Energy. I am the ultimate source, dancing through all forms. I am the animating force vibrating the world into being. I activate, invigorate, potentiate. Let me fill you with cosmic ecstasy. Let me reconnect you, recharge you, renew you. I am the sweet bliss honey nectar that snakes up your spine, connecting all your chakras into one big orgasmic orgy of power, vitality, energy. In Hindu India, Shakti, the goddess, is active, powerful, vital, the animating force of the universe. The masculine is the passive, inert, dormant force. Each Shakti has her god with whom she unites in sexual union. Without union, neither can do anything. To the tantric mystics, the ultimate union with Shakti happens at the moment of death. Shakti, portrayed here seated within the luminous world egg, is protected by the serpent, Kundalini, the emanation of her own divine energy. Shakti explodes into your life to energize and vitalize you. The way to wholeness for you now lies in learning how to work with Shakti, divine, cosmic, orgasmic, goddess energy. Have you been feeling tired? Do life and all its demands exhaust you? Do you keep giving your energy, your vitality, without taking in, recharging, revitalizing? Perhaps there is something you want to manifest, but don't feel you have enough energy to do it. Shakti says there is abundant energy available to you. All you need to do is learn how to reconnect with it. Beautiful. So, there are beautiful guided meditations for Kundalini and Shakti. And one of the people that I know does that has a great breathing exercise meditation to do with that is a Luna. Why am I clairvoyant? Oh my gosh. Luna Ash, clairvoyant. She, first of all, just listening to that woman's voice is just beautiful. She has a beautiful exercise, and you can look that up. Luna Ash Clairvoyant. It's her breathing exercise, working with Shakti, with the Kundalini exercise, learning to pull your energy from your base chakra up progressively higher and higher and higher. And that would be a beautiful thing to do in a moment of feeling like you need some reconnection, you're feeling isolated, really coming into yourself and that kind of stillness, but recognizing that there's energy inside of you. So we don't always have to be looking for the star outside, right? Or our compass or on the path, but we can sit still on the path or off the path and really still be working with our own inner energy, that we're really quite in control of that. That would be a beautiful thing to do in one of those moments. Okay, now I'm going to ask for a healing card, and this comes from Healing Cards, a daily practice for maintaining spiritual balance by, I know this will work because I got it working. There it is, by Carolyn Miss. Maybe it's a little too close. Anyway, close enough. I did fix it. Got it to work. Okay, so Spirit, we would like one healing card. That one flipped, so I'm going to take it. The healthy person lives in harmony with nature. The healthy person lives in harmony with nature. Okay, I'm going to wait. It's going to come on. It's my fingers that are the problem, I think. Shoot. There it is. Okay. It says, you create harmony by making choices that feel right to both mind and heart. Consider one choice you need to make today, no matter how insignificant, and make it harmoniously. First of all, I love the thought of the music. I think music is very healing. And in times when you're feeling lost and isolated and alone, just finding music that is healing is helpful. Before I get into the harmony of the choices, I just want to say that there's been many, many studies on music and how they impact the brain. Different music has different impacts on the brain and therefore on our moods. And there's beautiful healing music available to you as well online. And I don't just mean the binaural beats, but also amazingly beautiful classical music. If you've never explored that, some that I highly recommend. There's something called Gymnopédie by Satie, Satie. It's one of my favorites. And there is, I personally love flute music. I love piano music. And I love guitar, just like classical guitar, Spanish guitar. But music in all forms. What I don't tend to do is listen to music that will pull me down and make me sadder. Because that can just bring my mood right down, right? Like now I'm sobbing to the songs. If that helps you feel better, then that might be your way. But, for me personally, there's definitely songs that are more healing, that bring me more harmony, peace within than other kinds of music. So thank you, Spirit, for reminding me that Shakti meditations can be very helpful, as well as music, bringing music in when we're in those moments of feeling desperate. This also says, think about through your day today. Consider the choices you make and having them be in harmony, heart and head. Even insignificant ones. Yeah. What you think is insignificant. You might want to just stop and ask yourself, yeah, I have 2 things I can eat right now. I really want to eat fast, but that's just my head talking. My heart would really like me to eat something healthy because I know I'll feel better. Okay, that's what I did today when I made a salad instead of eating some cheese I had available. And it was the right choice. So as a good affirmation today, using the 2, you might say, because this is about balance in your own energy, you might ask yourself to make decisions that will be helpful to your energy, right? So today, I allow myself to make choices that raise my vibration, raise my energy, or balance my energy, or in balance for myself, because I know that I create harmony. I create harmony in my life and everything I do. If you have a good affirmation that you could create using one or both of those cards or anything that we talked about today, write it in the comments because I think they're helpful for other people. Remember that your affirmation is something that should be short enough that you can remember it easily. Write it down somewhere in your journal, perhaps, on your cell phone in your notes app, or even on a sticky note, which is my fave. I put it on a sticky note, put it on the mirror. Some of them I leave up there for quite some time. In fact, there's one that I had wrote years ago. It's right here. And I put it on my mirror when I was going through my separation. And I wrote, I am my highest priority as an affirmation. And then I would, when I walked by the mirror, I would just look at it and I would say it. I am my highest priority. Now, yes, I have a son, and he is also my priority. But as they say, right, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can assist anyone else. And I knew at that time that by taking myself into account, prioritizing myself, I was in fact prioritizing him, because for him to have a strong mother was the best way I could serve him, if that makes sense. Okay, and last but not least, let's get a one card from the universe has your back. Spirit, just one card, one message, how this universe has our back, just as a goodbye, good luck, good day kind of reminder. Let us know how spirit, or how the universe has our back. Oh, okay. When I am in alignment with love, the universe, peace, sorry, wait, let me start that again. One little word makes a difference. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. And it's true that what happens is when we're out of alignment, we are sort of out of alignment with that. We stop feeling the love of the universe, right? And our peace is disrupted. We feel alone and out of, maybe sort of out of favor and out of balance with ourselves. There we go. Okay. So when I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. I sometimes ask myself when I'm struggling, I'll literally take a few deep breaths and then I'll ask myself, what's in harmony with love? What would love do? What is the path of love here? What is the choice of love? So when I'm in alignment with love, of the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, my peace, my inner peace, cannot be disrupted. Okay. You are surrounded by love and light. I hope that you found some things helpful. Remember to jot a few notes and insights into your journal. Come back at the end of the day. Reflect on any things that came up for you through the day. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Some investment in that is really good. And to make sure that at night when you're going to sleep, you find one thing to be grateful for, because that is giving your brain a blessing on your way down for the night, that you're not going to bed with worries, you're not going to bed in a lower vibration, you're going to bed in a higher vibration. And that is in alignment with love. All right, thank you very much and have a wonderful day. I hope to see you back here. Bye.